Fiore, the Fiore, easily one of the most memorable characters that ever made it to Disventure Camp. Her performance in Season 1 was legendary, and mind you, before her elimination, out of 12 eliminated contestants, Fiore took part in making at least 8 of them happen. Her strategy, her rivalries, let's be honest, no one ever did like her. You can say that Fiore in Season 1 was the modern day version of the internet slang gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. In Season 3, she just became kinda irrelevant. In this video, I am going to fully analyze the character of Fiore Ricci so that we understand what are some of her best and worst qualities as a person, and we also are going to understand what contributed to Fiore becoming the second jester after Yule in Disventure Camp All-Stars. But before we get started, make sure you press that beautiful thumbs up button under this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Oh, and by the way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am Rafi Abgarian, and let's get ready for this video. Firstly, we are going to take a look at Fiore from Season 1 because we still have a lot to say about this little gremlin. First of all, when she entered the show for the first time, she was just 6 years old, which makes her the youngest ever contestant to make it to Disventure Camp. This girl definitely has a very controversial and polarizing personality, and while some of you may say that she was born with this rebellious nature, I feel like it's kinda the opposite. What I'm trying to say is, take a look at this photo. Fiore is showing the picture with her parents, and if you look closely at her parents, you may say that at least one of them works as a psychologist. The education from her parents may have contributed to Fiore being able to read others' minds easily, as well as manipulate them. This may be just my personal theory, but who knows? Anyways, now that we have mentioned Fiore's parents, we have to talk about them, and also we have to bring up the fact that they're one of the deepest reasons why Fiore became the child that she is. From what we know, her parents left her a long time ago because they wanted Fiore to be the typical school kid, and Fiore just wanted to be herself, and because of that, the situation got even worse, and the relationship between her and her parents became sharper, and who knows what else happened to her behind the curtains.
My mother never loved me, and I know her life would be much better if I never existed. She's told me she thinks I'm a monster. I know she's right, but it still hurts to hear.
Anyways, enough with those sad facts about Fiore, cause now we are gonna talk about her screen time in the Season 1 of Disventure Camp. And oh man, may I dare to say that she was an absolute savage during the entire thing? She has already gotten on the show. That's already a great thing, but being absolutely the loudest and most unhinged person in her cast made it so that the viewers will not be able to forget her anytime soon. And although she lost in the end, if you carefully think about it, Fiore managed to win something better than money. But what made me enjoy her screen time in Season 1 even more are her iconic interactions, such as for example her iconic friendship with Alec, Sammy friendship with Gret, and etc. I feel like if the Odd Nation cartoons ever made a spin-off about Fiore being an adult woman, I would love to see Fiore being presented as one of the wealthiest actors on Earth, or maybe even as a host for Disventure Camp. I feel like the quote, "No great mind has existed without a touch of madness," perfectly sums up her character. And speaking of Alec, now let's take a look at what happened to both Fiore and Alec after Season 1. Fiore continued to visit the boarding school, yes, the one filled with a bunch of nuns, which is, well, let's be honest, not the best thing ever to deal with for a girl like her. And Alec, well, let's just say his life took a turn for the worse. Regarding to what happened between these two in season 3, well, let's just say that the things took a very weird turn. As all of you may know, Alec was very pissed at Fiore because of how she stabbed him in the back in the final 4 of season 1. In the plane, when they met for the first time in 2 years, Alec was not going to act friendly around her. However, starting from episode 2, out of nowhere, Alec starts to look out for her. We will get into their relationship deeper a bit later. For now, let's talk about Fiore herself. What was she like in season 3? Well, in my opinion, it's not that she was completely derailed, it's just that she didn't go through anything special or unique for her character, unlike many other characters in Disventure Camp All-Stars. If you guys carefully look at her 7 episodes of screen time in Disventure Camp All-Stars, you can insist that Fiore was either completely ignored / ridiculed by her own team, or she was always getting massively injured in the challenges. Nothing too terrible, but just always predictable and one-sided. I mean, remember what happened to her in the very first challenge of Disventure Camp All-Stars? Also, I have always said this before, but to me it was always really ridiculous how Fiore in Disventure Camp All-Stars always got bullied by Ashley, a woman in her mid-20s. I mean, Fiore is not the most innocent person on earth, sure, but what Ashley was doing to Fiore was not only bad, but also realistically illegal in so many ways. I am not a scriptwriter at all, but if I had to think of a way Fiore could be fixed in Disventure Camp All-Stars, well, I'd say she needs to make it all the way up until the VR challenge. That way Fiore will get the 9th place and she will get extra 6 episodes, which at least in my opinion is enough for her to go through an arc with Alec and finally resolve the drama that happened between them after season 1. Fiore's relationship with Alec in season 3 was just generally confusing if you ask me. As I have said earlier, starting from episode 2, Alec started to look out for Fiore, and several episodes later, he also made the Villains Alliance, in which, yes, Fiore was one of the members. In one hand, my heart was feeling pretty warm after seeing how deep down Alex still cared about Fiore, but in the other hand, I was like, is this the same guy that told Fiore that her parents rightfully called her a mistake? Like, don't get me wrong, people, I absolutely adored their dynamics this season, and I especially loved the moment in which Fiore went ahead to save Alec in the final challenge from potential death, but let's be honest, it felt kinda anticlimactic, at least to half of us viewers. In my opinion, another thing that could have saved Fiore from being a very underwhelming character is a mini arc that could give more exposure to her past life and also reveal other sides of Fiore's personality. Not even to mention that Alec literally had to go through a very similar process during the merge. At the end of it, unfortunately, Alec was portrayed as a complete psychopath, as it was revealed that the guy neglected his own child. In Fiore's case, however, I feel like this type of arc could definitely end up being more successful and heartwarming and interesting than whatever Alec's arc tried to bring to the table. And while I love the fact that Fiore and Alec finally managed to resolve their drama, which potentially happened when both of them were staying at the Loser's Motel, I cannot deny that I would love to see that process happening on our screens and not behind them. A lot of people have probably said this before me, but a spin-off about Alec and Fiore is a must-have. Also, a bit unrelated, but when Fiore feels like more of a mature and grown person while being put next to a bunch of adults, you know we have got some problems.
Right right. Ellie's gone for simple strategy. Nothing's personal. Yes, in your face, Ellie!
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that. Let's move on.
For the conclusion of this video, I can definitely say that Fiore 100% managed to cement herself as one of the most legendary, one of the most memorable, and one of the most iconic characters to make it to that reality show. And sure, maybe she will never be as iconic as she used to be in season 1, but let's be honest, our little gremlin deserves the whole world. She's not evil, she's just misunderstood by the general public. Now, thank you to everyone who watched this video till the end, and once again, you guys, don't forget to press that beautiful thumbs up button under this video, subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed to it yet. This was Rafi Apkarian, and I will see you guys in the next one.